Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the last step in the DIY milestone blanket. This is the milestone marker. You're going to need a small willow wreath, some burlap or fabric. I'm going to use jute or ribbon. You're going to need your glue gun. The first thing that I wanted to let you guys know is that this banner is made from a really tightly woven burlap that almost looked like linen that Eden had gotten for her wedding, and we never used it. And I'm sorry that the video got corrupted of me making this banner. I do apologize, but we've made banners like this before. You fold over the edge, you cut the triangle. This time, because it was a linen type fabric, I folded over the edges instead of just putting a bead of glue down. But what I'm doing here is I've taken some ribbon. This is a really pretty iridescent, almost like a clear with iridescent ribbon that I had gotten from, I'm going to guess Michael's at ages and ages ago. I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. I'm putting a loop on the end. Usually we string these together with burlap, but since Luna's bedroom is going to be rainbow, unicorn, mystical, ethereal kind of thing, I thought that this would be perfect. Now I want to show you guys this. This is a dowel that my dad had taken and put a baby eye hook on the bottom, and he opened the eye hook to make a little hook. And he made this for me to turn tubes around, but it's great for putting this ribbon through. And I know I've showed you guys lots of methods before using a pencil with, a pocket clip on it. You know, those, how you could, yeah, But I'm just going to do this with the dowel, and, it's not even like, as easy actually, because the hook's kind of little and it kept pulling the ribbon off, but it ended up working okay. Now for this banner, we originally had talked to Eden about what do we want to put on the blanks, and she said possibly a little moon or like a little unicorn or rainbow, but it just looks so pretty and classy. And what it turns out is she ended up taking off the extra banners anyway because it fit better underneath the unicorn that she made in the room. So it worked out okay. You go ahead if you're keeping this for yourself and make the ribbon as long as you need it. But if it's for a gift, go ahead and make a little extra so that the person can do what they need with it. So, I'm sorry that the video got corrupted when I did this part. So, one of the things that I did was I found this wreath and I made sure that there was plenty big for numbers. Excuse me. And what I wanted to do was I made, if you've seen the banner for Luna, for her room banner, it looks like this. So what I wanted to do was to make a miniature version and hang it inside the wreath. I know Eden really appreciates the little touches. So what I have done was I've taken the littlest piece of scrap fabric from there, and I actually cut, which I'm sorry you missed it, I actually folded this in fours. Because I don't have, like, that banner has extra ends. This does not have extra ends. This is just going to be enough to put Luna. So, and this may not work with a child's big name, okay? But what I did is I folded this in fours, and then I cut what I thought would be an appropriate size. It wasn't. I test fitted it, and it was too big to go across in the 4 letters. So I took them, piled them together, and cut them down so that they do fit now. So I can show you kind of like a dry fit. Now, when I hang them, it will be important that they hang like this as well. That they look like they say Luna like this, because the whole point of this is to put this on the blanket for however months old she is. So I'm going to make sure that the number is in there and that you could still see Luna. So I'm probably going to hang it like around here. Sorry, I just realized I was looking and not going through the camera. So, so it will probably be something like that, so you could still see the number. However, I need to test the 12, because 12 is actually 10 or 12, both of them, are the biggest, the widest number. So I'm going to make sure I can fully engulf the 12. I think the 10 is actually a little bigger. So let's see if we can fully engulf the 10 still, right? So it says 10, and we can get Luna in there. So let's see. Luna. L-U-N-A. Yes, yes, score. And then I'm going to do flowers. And I'm not exactly sure which flowers, what flowers, but that's what you missed so far was I cut the banner. And then I'm going to write her name and glue it on the ribbon. And then we'll do the rest from there. And I just lost something from my... Okay, I'll find it. Okay? So when I was designing this, I asked Eden to pick out, gave her a list of free fonts and asked her to pick out a font that she liked. She picked out this one. Actually, she gave me a choice of two, and I like this one a lot. And I wrote it on her banner with just Sharpie. This material held the Sharpie really nice. But then I wanted to go ahead and duplicate it on the wreath. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with a baby milestone blanket, basically it's a tool that new moms can use where they lay the baby down for sharing on social media with their friends and family who don't live close by. And what you could do is you take a picture of the baby with the progress. Basically, you use the wreath to circle however many months or weeks they are while you take their picture while they're sitting in the center. And, excuse me, the mile marker with the banner on it is when you lay over the number. So when Luna is 1 week old, she can put the circle around the 1, lay Luna in the middle, put the word weeks down, and then take a picture from above, and we'll all know her progress. Okay? And I wanted to, like I said, duplicate the big banner onto the little banner, just because I thought it was cute. So initially I said to use burlap ribbon. If you were going to use Dollar Tree materials, then the burlap ribbon with the wire would be the best for this, to duplicate this little banner. However, they don't make a material big enough to do the big banner, unless you can get some burlap sheets, but then it will just have a different feel and a different look, just to keep in mind. I mean, you could use any of their pillowcases or tablecloths or any of that stuff, but I just meant they don't have this particular fabric. I'm not exactly, she's not even remember where she got it from, to be honest with you, she said. So all right, so then after I have the name copied on the 4 things, now I did mention that if your baby's name is longer than this, I don't know if this technique would work, but this is definitely just an option. You could just use the ring if your baby's name is longer and maybe make the mini banner to lay on the blanket somewhere when you photograph it. But then after I've gotten all the names written, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm taking a piece of, this is the Easter ribbon from the Dollar Tree. It was beautiful lavender with sparkle in it, just enough sparkle. And what I'm doing is I'm going to glue the letters onto the ribbon. Just like we would have strung them in. We don't have to worry about making the pocket and folding it over, because this is going to be permanent. We don't have to worry about sliding the banner around. It has to fit where we need it to fit. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to put a bow on both sides. Now, I initially put bows on both sides, laid it on the, you'll see me lay it on the wreath for a size-wise, and then I ended up moving the bows in towards the banner more. So you adjust it accordingly, okay? And this is just a basic bow like you would tie your shoe. It really is. I just took the one string, folded it sort of in half, and tied a bow around. This little ribbon, it makes beautiful bows. They're very forgiving, and you know, they don't hold shapes weird or anything like that, if that makes sense. All right. So hopefully you saw there that I actually like dry fitted them. Like I laid them on there before I glued them to see about how long I wanted them to be. And they almost had to touch with the particular banner size that I used, which you can also adjust, by the way. You don't have to make the triangles as wide, especially if you have a child whose name might be 5 or 6 letters. And here I am testing out with bows and trying to test out with the length. And you're going to need to do this according to whatever size name you have as well. All right. And like I said, I put bows on both sides, and then I needed to adjust them. I needed to move them in towards the banner a little bit. So when I finally got the bows to where I wanted them to be, I added just a touch of hot glue to the knot so that they wouldn't get undone. And then I found the best place to position them on the ring to go ahead and glue them down. So that's also something you may need to have to do individual depending on the child's name and the size of the banner that you use. But again, this is just to show you techniques and to show you ideas. It's not necessarily to give you this is exactly how you have to do it for you, okay? But you want to make sure that you can see the name when it's laying down, all right? So it needs to be able to photograph like this, because when the whole purpose is to put the baby on the blanket to shoot from above, and you could see the baby's name. So can you see the baby's name? I think so. So I think we have the spot where we want it. And before I glue it, I'm going to go ahead and check it with the numbers. Get out that 12 again. Or that 10. It was a 10, right? The 10 we said was the biggest. Okay. So let's see. Does that look good? Obviously on the blanket, the 11's not that close. So as long as we can see the number 10, and 10's the biggest, let's just check the 12 too. Yeah, 12 is definitely smaller than 10. So 10 is the biggest number. And you could still see her name, and you could still see that it's a 10. So we're going to glue it right there, and then we'll decorate with flowers around it, okay? So there you have it. So now the only thing that I'm doing that I want to tell you about is when I was getting ready to glue this, I don't know, you know these willow wreaths, grapevine wreaths sort of can sometimes be oval shaped. Excuse me, they're so natural. Sometimes they have bumps and strings sticking out. So what I was doing is I was testing it. I took the banner and I turned the wreath around like every couple of inches and retested it to see where was the exact perfect place to put the numbers. Excuse me, and to put the banner. And then when I figured I finally had it, I went ahead and I just used hot glue. I'm so sorry. I just used hot glue to attach it to the wreath in the position that I wanted it to lay. All right. And that's it. I was contemplating, do I want to put a hanger on here? But no, with willow wreaths aren't necessary because you can always catch on to a piece of willow. So when I finally have it where I wanted it and I glued it, it was all done. Now the next step I was contemplating was flowers. So this is when I FaceTimed Emily. I FaceTimed Emily a few times because I wanted her opinion because she's young. So I was thinking, do I want to put flowers on there? And then I picked out some pink roses, but then I saw some white lavender lilacs. Thank you. And I was like, you know what? She said, don't put any flowers on there. Bring it with you. If we want flowers, she'll add it later. So that's it. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you really like the way this entire Milestone series came out. This to me was such a precious labor of love, and I'm so very, very happy that Eden loved it as much as she did. If you have any questions at all about this video or any of the rest in the series, leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to share this video with friends and family or anybody you know who may be interested in making one of these or any part of these or anything along the way. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, join the family. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. So as always, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.